Hi guys, welcome back to that 1870s homestead. My name's Rachel, and you're right, I left out meat from the last conversation. So you're back down in my pantry, and not too long ago I did a video, I think it's titled, oh gosh, what's it titled? I don't remember. But it's something to the effect of the truth about what does it cost, and am I saving money? Because I know a lot of people are interested in the idea, but they have a primary goal of, if I was to start gardening and raising my own food to preserve it so I didn't have to go to the grocery store, I want it to be cost effective. And so I kind of broke down all the numbers of what does a pantry like this cost to establish, and then in the end, do I feel like I'm saving money? And I compared it to my monthly budget of when I used to go grocery shopping, and now what do I spend at the grocery store, and summarizing the story without giving it all away. Yes, I saved money, so I encourage you to go watch that video. But I got a lot of comments in that video, you forgot meat out of your grocery budget. I know you guys raise all your own meat. Well, that's a whole other video, which is today's video in and of itself. So don't worry, I didn't forget the meat. It was just intentional. So we are here with all the funny money numbers that I like to call it in the last video. And I'm going to get just like right down to the math, to the science of it all. We've done this many, many times in the past, breaking down the cost of raising our own pigs for pork, raising meat chickens, we raise turkeys. Those are the three staples that we raise. We also harvested our goats this year. The goats we bought as dairy goats, so they weren't meat goats. We bought them thinking that we would breed them to maybe have a dairy source in the future. My job just never allowed for that. So they became of the age that they were aging out, and they were past breeding prime opportunities. So we went ahead and harvested those. And so I will tell you straight up, raising goats for 5 years on farm is not cost effective. My goats, we ended up getting around 111 pounds of meat from those goats. And from 5 years of feeding them hay and alfalfa pellets, I would give them some beet pellets, their minerals, that ended up costing me right around $13 a pound to have that goat. I do want to say I want to be able to discount the goat's price because they gave me compost I didn't have to buy for my garden, like in tractor bucket loads. But so from the conversation that I'm going to get in today, we're going to leave the goats off the table because that was just ridiculous. I mean, it was kind of like a hindsight. If we're going to raise goats again, it will be raise them for the 3 to 5 months to get a 50-pound goat harvest size. So yeah, we're going to leave goats out of this equation, but I did want to just be honest with you. If you are in that situation and you're like, we should just go ahead and harvest the goats, just know that if you've raised them that long, you probably haven't saved yourself any money, because the input, if you're going to raise meat on farm, it's raise it as fast as you can, as healthy as you can, to get it to the condition that is prime for harvesting, so you have the least amount of input to get the meat in your freezer. So that being said, we're going to talk about the pigs. Now, we lost a pig like, 2 or 3 weeks before harvest date, we believe, to pneumonia. So I've taken that pig out of the equation because that's just lost cost for us. And that could happen to you. You could lose chickens, you could lose turkeys. And that is sunk cost, but I'm not going to count that as it would have been the same. So we're going to pretend as if, no, we're not. I took it just completely out of my equations. Okay, so I'm just dealing with the meat that's in my freezer. So the meat that's in my freezer, I have a pig that we raised on farm for 4 months and 2 weeks. And it was a Tamworth pig. That pig was $300 to process. I paid $100 for the pig. It was $300 to process them. So that was the cut fee and the smoking fees. And we spent about $208 in feed for that one pig. And that one pig gave us 170 pounds of meat. And that's not hanging weight. That is the reduction after the hanging weight. So in total, $700 to buy the pig and raise it. 170 pounds of meat, that's $3.50 a pound for pasture-raised pork, because it was fully raised on, it's quite large, pasture paddock. So I'm going to, in the end, stay till the end, because I'm going to get to how do I know if I'm saving money or not. I just want to tell you, what does it cost? So do you have your pen and notepad? If not, we'll pause the video right here. Go get your pen and notepad. So if you're thinking about raising your own meat, you can start budgeting potentially for, if I want to do this next summer, spring through fall, what would my budget look like? And think about this when you're planning income tax returns next year. Maybe it's some money that you want to set aside to be able to do this. Because the cost of prices, guys, even for us to just have our hog processed, that price has, inflation's there. It's everywhere. Okay, chickens. So we raised 20 chickens this year. It was $40 for the birds, $0 to process. We do that ourselves. So there's a little bit of cost there that I could count in, which is propane to run the scalder, and bags to shrink wrap them in. But I netted that out as money I'm saving not driving to the grocery store to buy chickens. So, it's minimal. And then about $240 in feed to raise up those chickens. They were on farm 7.5 weeks. So that gave us, on average, a 6-pound bird. So I netted that out at 120 pounds of chicken. So $280 in total cost divided by 120 pounds of chicken. And that gets us at $2.33 a pound for chicken. Again, pasture raised. They moved in the chicken tractor all over our property while they were living a happy life while they were here. Turkey. Now, I didn't raise turkey this year, but I didn't harvest them till late fall last year, so I'm counting them in my annual meat that we harvested. So in the last 365 days, the meat that we harvested. Turkey, I would say I raised 4. So $20 for the turkeys. I got them at Family Farm and Home at a great deal. $0 to process them, about $360 in feed, and so total cost to raise turkeys, $380, and we raised them out for 4 months, and that put us at $3.80 a pound for turkey. Got it? $700 total cost to raise pigs, $280 to raise the 20 chickens, $380 to raise the 4 large turkeys. Okay, so where do I want to go from there? Like I said, I'm going to take goats out of the equation. And that was 111 pounds of meat in our freezer. I found the best website to use to be able to bring you guys the truth of, am I saving money? Cost. And the site is known as, I'm just going to spell it out, ams.usda.gov, and it's an agricultural marketing service report that comes out weekly. And so you can look them up. Hopefully Todd has an opportunity to throw just some images and snapshots in there. They have it on, like, so if you want to buy commercial pork and you want to know what the average cost is, pasture raised, variations of that, organic. So I just went with pasture raised because that takes out the organic premium cost on top of it. So I have a total of, again, taking out the 111 pounds of goat meat, I have a total of 390 pounds of pork, chicken, and turkey put up. In total, well over 500 pounds of meat we raised here on farm in the last year and harvested. So remember my number for pork? Keep this number in your mind. $3.50 a pound is what it cost me. Commercial pork these days, not pasture raised, just commercial grown pork, $2, anywhere from $2 to $6 a pound for commercial pork, depending on the cut, is the national average. Pasture raised, direct from farm to consumer, average price is anywhere from $8 to $12 a pound. You're going to pay an increase in that if it's pasture raised going to the grocery store and then you're buying it from there. So I'm going to stick with that pasture raised number because that is what we raise. $8 to $12 is the average market price. I'm doing it myself for $3.50 a pound. Sorry about that phone call. Even comparing it to the national average for commercial of $2 to $6 a pound, my $3.50, it's right there for good, delicious, raised on grass, in the sunshine, eating well, healthy, happy, beautifully raised pork at $3.50 a pound. So pigs, heck yeah, I'm raising money. Let's check that one off the box. Okay, using the same website, looking up chicken. I went with the whole broiler cost, and you'll see that when you go onto the website, they can break it down by breast, quarters, wings, things like that. I just went with the whole chicken cost because that's what we put up. A commercial chicken average cost per pound is $2.01. A pasture-raised chicken average market cost is $5.71. And our birds, ding, 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 came in at $2.33. So heck yeah, saving money again. Turkey. So I did not find the commercial cost. So for like your Jenny O turkey, I couldn't find that, or I just didn't take the time. But for a pasture, direct from farmer to consumer cost for turkey, a whole turkey, $7.35 a pound, and our turkeys came out to $3.80 a pound for a turkey. Pasture raised again, beautifully happy, wonderful life here on farm. So yeah, I'm thrilled by that. Let's take that total cost. So that total cost of all of my meat that I grew in 1 year, so $700 for the pigs, $280, that's $980, plus $380, Lord knows I've already lost track, somewhere around $1,200, $1,300 in the cost I paid to grow, what did I say, how many pounds? Right at 500 pounds of meat. So I was talking to Todd. The neat thing about the way that we raise meat here on farm is our meat typically will last. We raise pigs like once every other year. Turkeys once every other year. If we're raising 4, if we only raise 2, we'll do it once a year. So the amount of food that I have in my 2 stand-up freezers with respect to the meat raised here is going to get me right at 22 to 24 months of happy living, joyful living. So what I did was, and how I estimated that was, I said, let's pretend I was grocery shopping still today. on average, we consume, and it's just Todd and I, so I don't know that this would matter if you had a big family. You're still going to be saving money based off those market prices. Now, Todd and I, on average, eat anywhere from 4 to 5 pounds of meat per week. Yeah, so the other day, like, we grabbed out a pound of turkey breast and we cooked it up and did some yummy medallions, and they were so good. We made a meatloaf the other night that was 2 pounds of ground beef, but it is 3 days of food for us. So, okay, so if I took that number of 14 to 20 pounds a month, pretending I'm going to the grocery store like I used to do, and I need to buy 16 to 20 pounds of meat per month to feed Todd and I. For us, that's like $60 a month is what I'm spending to consume that. And if I went to the grocery store to consume that same quality of food, or buy direct from a local farmer for that same quality of food, I'm going to be 3 or 4 times that. So yes, hands down, I am saving money raising my own food. Now, I just choose to source non-GMO food. I don't source organic food because then your prices get out of control. So you're going to make your own decisions. That's where prices can get different too. So I guess that's just another thing that could change depending on your decision. Now let's talk about some other costs that we had as initial input to be able to raise our own food. So you got to buy waters. You have to buy feeders. Those things break over time, especially the chicken products, the chicken waters and chicken feeders. I mean, probably they last us like 2 years, and then we're replacing them because they get just so actively used each and every day, moving them and everything. So it's a nominal price, though. It's not much. I'm just trying to think, what is a chicken water these days? Maybe $15 a feeder. You can build it yourself out of like half of a PVC tube you might have laying around, even a piece of wood and hollowed out, and feed them out of that. What do we just use the, metal bucket. Those last, I think the metal ones last better than the plastic ones. So I've had the same metal one for the entire time. And maybe that one was like $20. So I don't know what the prices are today. But you're going to have some initial input for raising chickens and poultry for waters and feeder. We also built our rotational, like moving chicken tractor, they call them. Ours is a little bit fancier than what you need. It's a nice A-frame so I can like walk into it. But if you just did one of those Joel Salatin style ones, I think you could build that for like less than $200. We probably spent like $280 to build ours, and that's just like wood and chicken wire, your nails and staples and things like that. So again, that thing is like one-time infrastructure cost, and I mean, we built it once. It's lasted 5 years. It will easily, 6 years. It will easily last probably 6 more years. It's not going anywhere. To raise our goats and our chickens, the only input that we had was we were fortunate that the paddock was already here on property. So we added 1 gate. We added electric wire. We bought an electric fence charger. So in total, that's probably like $500 we spent. So a solar charger was, I think, like $150. And Todd has had to replace that once, and he bought a refurbished one. The poly wire that we run around the inside for the pigs, I don't know how much this stuff is, honestly. Todd buys all that. But there is some input cost that if you wanted to tally that into the cost of what it is to raise my own food, that would slightly tick up the prices a little bit. But I do not think by any means the depreciation over the years of the things that last, like the gates and the paddock infrastructure, that's not going to add anything that would take this even close to where I'm not saving money. So yeah, I wanted to just get back with you guys and let you know that, oh, I forgot the best one. You can totally even do it for free. We caught 40 pounds of salmon this year. So we did salt it and put some sugar on it when we cured it, and then we canned it, and that's 40 pounds of salmon that's on my pantry shelves for free, basically. I mean, you're having fun. Todd, you guys saw Todd. If you caught that video, he had a blast catching those fish. And we do try hunting. We've never been successful at it to get a deer. But if you're a successful hunter and you know how to process your own deer, there's great free resources to enjoy all the wild game and fish that are out there to fill your freezers and pantry too, and supplement that need to go to the grocery store and be dependent on somebody else to raise the protein choice that you have for your family. And I know not everyone is a consumer of meat, so this is directed to those that do consume animal products and the fish and all the delicious things that we love. So that rounds out the series. I've done this many, many times, so I don't even think about it anymore, that I just feel so confident that we are saving money. And yeah, so if it's something that you have questions on, curious about, like I didn't talk a lot about like timing, like when in the season is it best to raise certain animals, how long does it take to raise certain animals. I spoke about it a little bit, but if you have questions that I didn't quite answer or fully satisfy your curiosity, leave it in the comments below, and we'll do our best to get back to you. But I think that summarizes, yes, and we didn't even talk about, yeah, we did. There's a whole other video on us pulling in about 120 pounds of honey. And that honey is totally supplementing so much additional needs. So there's like endless possibilities, guys, out there on your property. Or if you're just noodling about the idea of ways that you can be more self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-sustainable, to be able to grow what your family needs, change the way that you eat for the better, and do it affordably and economically. And you don't need a lot of space. That is one thing I want to say. Like all of this that we do, we don't even use the back 3 acres of our property. None of it. Like my pigs are raised in one small space. My goats were raised in a small space. My chickens and turkeys only ever use my backyard. Like I don't take them into the pasture per se, because I don't want to walk all the way out there to move everything. So there's a book out there on the like small 1 acre homestead, and I believe that wholeheartedly. You can grow so much food where you are. It doesn't take a lot. So that's it, and it was fun to bring you this information. I feel satisfied, I feel joyful, I feel blessed that I can do it where I am, and that I'm healthy enough to get out there and do it, and I'll keep doing it for as long as we're able. So I thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.